Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. These cookies are so good. Stay tuned in and I'll show you how to make these chocolate dipped almond cookies. You'll certainly want to add this recipe to your Christmas cookie list. But you don't have to wait for Christmas to make them. They can be made any time of the year, of course. This cookie is tender and yet crunchy and excellent with a cup of tea or a glass of milk. Just saying. Before we get started with today's recipe, just to let you know that my Treasure Chest of Sweets recipe book is now available on Amazon just in time for Christmas. It's great for gift giving, and also the recipes in it I think you'll find helpful for the Christmas season. Both of my recipe books have a barcode inside the cover that you can scan with your phone and it'll take you directly to the channel. There is a corresponding video with every recipe that's included in the book. So if you want to watch the video, you can actually see what the recipe looks like when it's finished and how to make it. If you're interested in purchasing my cookbooks, I've included a quick link in the description below this video. And thank you so much, I appreciate your support. Okay, without further ado, let's get right back to today's recipe. Start by placing 1 cup of softened butter into a large mixing bowl. Add 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. Next, we're going to need 2 egg yolks. And add those to the mixing bowl. And give that a little mix. Continuing on with the ingredients, I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Then I add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And we'll also add 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. This will help with the texture of the cookie. Next is 1/2 cup of ground almonds. This will also help with the texture, and it'll add that almond flavor that we desire in this cookie. Now give it a bit of a mix again. And last but not least, we'll add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. At this point, be sure to mix this really well until all the ingredients are well combined. And here you can see the texture of the cookie dough. Now you need to start with clean hands. You pretty much need to get your hands right in there and roll these into a little bit of a cylinder. Place them on the cookie sheet. You can shape them like this if you want to, or you can just make them into small balls and then roll them out a little bit so that you know that the portions are going to be equal. There's different ways you can do this. Whichever way you do it, we shape them into a little bit of what looks like a C shape or a croissant, or you could call it a horn, whatever you want to call it, but it just gives it a little different appeal when you go to dip them, so it's kind of nice. And just gently flatten them down a little bit. You can use a glass and dip it in a little icing sugar to do that with, or just use your hands. Now I place them on parchment paper on a cookie sheet at 330 degrees Fahrenheit for about 9 minutes. You only want them to be lightly golden, and golden underneath mostly. A little bit on top's okay because it will help keep them crisp. And you want to make sure you've baked it enough that your cookie holds together well. And here's 2 different sizes that I tried. I tend to like the smaller size better because they don't flatten out quite as much and they just hold their shape a little bit better. Let the cookies cool down and we'll melt some semi-sweet chocolate chips, add a little bit of canola oil, and we'll have chocolate for dipping. Now I'm going to probably use about 2 cups of chocolate chips. I use the semi-sweet ones. You can do milk chocolate if you prefer. And I add a little bit of canola oil to keep this smooth and stable for the chocolate, so I add about 1 teaspoon of canola oil. You melt it over a low heat on the stove and stay right with it until it's melted and nice and smooth like this. Very interesting because you need to have it in a small pot so that it's deep enough to do the dipping. And we only dip half of it, just like this. Of course, I place them on parchment paper on top of a cookie sheet. This way you can get as many on the sheet as you can fit, and it's easy to transfer them to a cool place to have them set. This time of the year in Canada, it's cold enough that I can just set them out on the top of the freezer in the garage and they'll set nicely. Well, right now it's about -7 degrees Celsius out there, so it's a little chilly. After they've set, they will look a little bit like this. To finish these off, we'll just sift a little bit of confectioner's sugar on the other half. I do it this way. You can see how I manage it, but you can simply dip the other half of the cookie in a bowl of icing sugar if that's what you want to do. Doesn't matter how you do it. And these are kind of a special cookie. I really enjoy them, so I hope you do too. Please take a moment to comment in the comment section. I appreciate hearing from you. And thanks so much for watching the video all the way through. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, happy eating. Now go make some.